Hey, so if I go to bjjfanatics.com, what do I need to search for in order to find 3 awesome instructionals?
All you really need to do is put in ROZ, and Gravity is your friend, escapes for guys over 40, and Be a Hammer, Smash the Knees pop up, and those are the 3 that you've done so far.
Yes, and in January, I'll be going back to Boston to recruit a handful more, so stay tuned. More awesomeness on BJJ Fanatics coming your way.
We have all had that situation where after class is when we want to ask a question. And Thomas, a lot of those questions you've already answered, right, at Ask a Black Belt.
Yeah, it's another podcast that I'm running. It's on podcast, all podcast platforms, plus on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. Just search for my name. Search for Ask a Black Belt. At this point, over 100 episodes, different questions, jiu-jitsu, life-related, but something that everybody comes across, and often these questions sink in our mind, but we don't ask for whatever reason. So if that benefits you, go there, listen. It actually might help your jiu-jitsu, might help your life as well. And if you have any questions, find me on Instagram and drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer your question and mention your name during the episode.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we're live.
Here we go.
Kai Watson.
Yep.
I think one of the better conversations that we've had in a while. I can't say that because we have so many great guests this year. We're just starting this year, and it's been phenomenal. My chair is squeaking, by the way.
It always squeaks. It always squeaks. You're going to hear it a lot more.
One day somebody's going to buy me a new chair.
By
the way, we are looking for any sponsors with the chairs.
Yeah. Something with lower lumbar support. I was just going to say I've been leaving the squeaks and stuff in because I've been under the gun time-wise in producing.
What? The show is getting low quality?
There's just squeaks. Squeaks and clicks. Squeaks and clicks. Take out the egregious ones, but some of them they stay.
Yeah.
But Kyle, he's been around the block.
Oh my God, what a rich history.
Yes, hung out with some pretty cool dudes.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
GSP.
There you go.
John Danaher. Danaher. Before John Danaher was John Danaher.
I think that's back when John Danaher still had hair.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Because Kyle was on Tough.
Yeah.
And the coaches were GSP and Josh Koscheck. And I'm pretty sure, I know Danaher obviously was there, but I think he still had hair then. I think that's the
yes,
year.
He does.
Yeah. Is that the year Danaher brought in that crazy English, I think he was English, Muay Thai guy?
I don't know.
Who came in and wrecked everybody. If he liked you, he would show you stuff. But if you tried anything with him, he would destroy you, and he was just ruining these guys left and right. Anyway, he brought up, Kyle, brought up an interesting story from his time on Tough, and it was before the first day and the first night they were there, they hadn't picked teams yet. And everybody was hanging out. Everybody was having a good time. There was a ton of camaraderie. The very next day, they're yellow and red or whatever the colors were, and now it's an us versus them. And the dynamic changed completely. And Danaher said, isn't it funny? It was all us until there was a them or something along those lines. And I think that right now, since we've been talking, I've been thinking about it more on a societal level, because boy, right now there is a us versus them mentality, whether you're watching the news or what passes for the news, or you're looking at social media, and it seems like there shouldn't be that us versus them, right? We're all supposed to be in this together. However, it's something very simple can make it, can throw a divide in there and really change the dynamic, kind of like picking teams.
Do you think? Excuse me, that went wrong. The wrong pipe. I choked. Do you think that is that is specific to the culture of the country that we live in, or do you think that's the dynamic all around the world because of the just the dynamic that we've just the evolution of human society as it's taking place right now?
I'm not scholarly enough to say that it came from when we were tribal and we needed an us versus them to survive. But I do think in the past quite a few centuries, I think it's put upon people, the common folk, by people in power. This is not where I thought we were going to go, but by people in power so that they can retain power. There has to be the other in order for me to retain what I have, get elected, keep my status, to gain followers, like-minded people. There has to be a them, the other, in order for that to happen. And I think that then the regular people get taken advantage of, and they're the ones that suffer the consequences of that type of behavior.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, you're making a good point. If there is a winner, there's a loser, right? If we are here to succeed, somebody has to suffer, right? If we are the better ones, somebody has to be not good. Like by definition, right? If you define the top, there has to be a bottom. If you define left, there has to be a right.
Right. But how did you get to the top is kind of how I look at the
well,
us versus
that's true. That's true. On the flip side, I'm going to play devil's advocate now, and I don't necessarily agree with this. I'll frame this up. But in order for somebody to get to the top, they have to beat somebody who's on the bottom, right? By definition.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. But what are we talking? Are we talking healthy competition, or are we
I don't know.
Advantage?
Well, I get that. That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying, but playing devil's advocate, by definition, that has to take place, right? And I think, with the amount of this is really not where I wanted to go with this, but with the amount of social media and how information is being spread, how quickly and how much power we have behind the words that we are projecting out there with the audience that we have, it's very easy to manipulate the narrative.
Absolutely. That happens daily.
Daily. Absolutely. Right. This is why I stopped watching news. But, it's just, that's the world that we live in. Right. So how do let's bring this back on the mat. Get out of the political thing. How do we create environments where what?
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I know what I'm going to say, so go ahead, finish. I'll tell you how.
So say it, how?
We get rid of the wrestlers.
And there's about 75 cancellations arriving today.
Get rid of the wrestlers.
How do we create an environment of teamwork, cohesiveness, us working together versus competing against each other, right? And I am strong, and I'll frame this right before you answer. I believe the healthy competition is extremely important.
Yeah.
To everybody's success.
Yeah, there's nothing
the moment we stop competing with each other, we're gonna flatline everything. There's not going to be somebody better than us, and there's not going to be somebody worse than us, which by definition, everybody gets a trophy, right? So I think competition is important, but how do we embrace collaboration? How do we embrace empathy? How do we create a teamwork? How do we create environments where we can grow and embrace together versus me?
I think you need to realize that if everybody's getting better, you're getting better too.
That's a big one.
Right?
That's a big one.
So I think that's real important. And I think that, obviously when the bell goes off, you want to win, quote unquote, because I don't compete. I'm here on the mats. Do you win sparring? I mean, technically, I guess if you're in a better, more dominant position most of the time and you're tapping the guy out throughout the round, yeah, you win sparring. But I think you have to realize that type of stuff isn't the winning isn't what's really important. It is the learning through that process that's really important. Because if you're a purple belt or a brown belt and you got a new white belt and you smash him and you tap him out 10 times in a 4-minute round, and you feel good about that, that says a lot about you. I think it really does say a lot about you, and nothing good. If you're that purple belt and that brown belt and, you're letting that person work a little bit and they make some egregious mistakes and you capitalize on that, and then you talk to them about it, or you don't even capitalize on it, just put them in that compromised position and say, that this is what, you don't want to do that type of stuff. That's going to make you a better person. It's going to make them better. And then by that happening, everybody's going to get better. Don't make it about you. If you stop making things about you, everybody benefits, including yourself. There's no one person that can do it all alone.
No, that's some raw truth right there. Yeah. If you think, if
you take anybody, you take Gordon Ryan, you take Buchecha, you take Michael Jordan, you take anybody, none of them did it alone. And then when these people start acting like they did do it alone, that's when stuff starts falling apart for them. Mm-hmm. They start losing those relationships with the people that helped them get there, or the people that they picked up along the way. And stuff starts falling apart.
Yeah. Let's make sure we're framing this correctly too. The hard work is on you, but you need people, you need the network. You need the supporters, you need the frames, and they all have different functions.
Yeah.
But cohesiveness of working together is very important, right? Sure. So especially on the jiu-jitsu mat, where oftentimes jiu-jitsu is being viewed as an individual sport, individual activity, but we can't get better without our training partners.
Yeah.
I think that's a fundamental thought.
Yeah. Is there anything, shy of some weird Guinness Book of World Record thing, is there anything you can really get better at without the help of others?
Well, I think by definition, no. However, there are some activities, right? So look, if you play soccer, you can achieve the sport without being part of a team. Right? However, if you are a swimmer, you can perform by yourself. However, you can get better without coach and nutritioner and your team surrounding you.
Right.
So we are not talking, I guess what's important here to identify, we are not talking about the activity that you do, whether you do it alone or with somebody. We are talking about your personal success. Whatever you do, it is very difficult to achieve without supportive network around you. Right. So whether you're a soccer player, football player, baseball player, swimmer, chess player, or philosopher,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You need people, right? Even think about it from a I got a message about our recording and I got scared here for a second.
Oh.
Even think about it. Even if you're educating yourself on whatever topic it is, you're learning from a previous experiences. Mm-hmm. Somebody wrote a book. Somebody wrote a documentary. Somebody has a, whatever paper on, right? Study or statistics. All that is based on somebody else, which by definition, short of you doing research by yourself, and even that leans on other people.
Right.
You can't do it by yourself.
Right. And you could find something that totally turns everything that you thought you knew upside down.
Upside down. Right?
Yeah.
So if you look at it from that perspective, we just need to be goddamn more kind to other people. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. And I think you need to be more accepting. You don't need to, there's I see it a lot where people feel, and they might not even really feel this way until somebody tells them they're supposed to, but that someone else's success takes away from my own. Someone else getting something, being given a chance, being given help takes away from me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. They can both happen simultaneously.
I'll take this further. Somebody's success is my success. That's how we should look at it.
Yes. Tony.
That's how we should look at this. You know what I mean? Because, even maybe indirectly, but their success could contribute or should contribute, will contribute to me getting better.
Yes.
And you are so right.
Don't let me forget about Tony, please.
This
Go
entire
ahead.
conversation, I was thinking a slightly different perspective, more as a teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying is we should stop being envious of other people. We should stop being jealous of other people's success.
Mm-hmm.
We should stop caring that somebody has more dollars or better things, or they find something faster than us, or they perform better, or whatever. They are just simply one notch above us. We should stop caring about this, and we should really support them to the point where we can work as a team, and now I can learn from them.
Yes. So,
Tony.
Felipe Costa seminar. Tony was my partner, and Tony was letting me drill over and over and over again. And I was like, after, I had said during the seminar, hey, don't you want to get some reps in here? Mm-hmm. And then after we were talking, and I said, I said, thank you for today and letting me work so much. I really appreciate it. And he said, your success is my success. And I want to thank him for that very much. And that's the mentality that he has every time he's here with whoever he's working with. And that's a great way to be. And I want him to know how much we all appreciate that. And it is, you could take it, you were just saying being envious. You could, look at what that person has, and I could be mad at them for it without knowing if he worked for it, if it was given to him, if he had an advantage that I didn't have, so be it. If he had that advantage, good for him. You said earlier, you want your kids to have their own path and make their own mistakes. You just don't want them to make your mistakes. So if that person that I'm being jealous over something or envious had somebody that showed them a easier path, I should not be upset about that. I should be happy for that person. Yeah. They made it out. They did it. Good for them.
Well, I think, we kind of, sidetracking here, but I think what's oftentimes is happening that we take their result and put it in our life.
Right.
We don't see the grind and the struggle, the suffering, the sacrifices that they have made. And even if we do know what they've done to achieve the point of success that they have, we often put those circumstances into our life and say, well, that's not a problem. That's easy fix for me.
Right.
Not for them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Getting up at 4 a.m. maybe is nothing for me. It is the hardest thing for them. Mm-hmm. And that's the sacrifice they've made. Not seeing your kids for 5 or 7 days every single week or every evening, maybe it's easy for me, but it's not easy for them. Don't ever put yourself in their shoes because they are not your shoes.
Yeah.
They are not your shoes.
Yeah.
Walk your own shoes. Figure out your own struggles. Do what you need to do and surround yourself by people who will help you. And honestly, surround yourself by people who are better than you.
Yes. And I also think, though, that sometimes you look at their situation through a different set of eyes.
Yeah.
Because there's something you could learn there. Whether, no matter what that person's status is in life, what they have or haven't achieved, what their failures are. I just don't be so judgy. Stop judging everybody about every
everybody's
little thing,
judging everybody,
right?
everything.
I'm going to judge you for being judgy. But, definitely just relax a little bit, take a step back, and realize that, like we said early on, I think what is it? A rising tide lifts all ships, right?
That's right.
Something along those lines. And just try and make everybody around you a little bit better, a little bit happier. And it'll, all those successes will come your way too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
All right, then.
With you. Let's wrap this up.
Cool.
Phenomenal episode. If you did not listen to Kyle Watson yet, make sure to go check it out. Phenomenal
He's a
conversation.
Good guy. Armbreak you.
Armbreak you. If you don't know what it is, go listen.
See ya.
Later.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.